Reverend Lori Adams, Community Ministry, Huntington Beach. Reverend Karen Allen, Staff Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. Reverend Dr. Heather Clark, Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. Dr. Maura Font, Senior Minister, Director of School of Spiritual Leadership, Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living. Dr. Jim Terrell, Senior Minister, CSL Newport Mesa. Reverend Doug LeBeau, Senior Minister of Spiritual Director, High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, Apple Valley. Reverend Judy Chapman, Assistant Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. Reverend Aline Kramer, Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley. Reverend Allison Navarez, Minister at Large. Reverend Thomas Kugler, retired, United Church of Christ. Arpad Petras, Staff Minister, CSL Capistrano Valley. Reverend Bruce Fredenberg, Staff Minister, CSL CV. Reverend Mark Acromando, Staff Minister, Palm Springs Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Janet Moore, Assistant Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Newport Mesa. Reverend Carla Shiradas, Staff Minister, Capistrano Valley, Center for Spiritual Living. Reverend Catherine McKinney, Dean School for Spiritual Leadership at Redondo Beach. Reverend Ruth Ann Banner, Staff, CSL Palm Desert. Reverend Michael McMorrow, Spiritual Director, CSL Granada Hills, North San Fernando Valley. The Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn, Dean, School of Spiritual Leadership, San Diego Campus, Seaside Center for Spiritual Living. And, if I can say it without crying, the Reverend Pattie Mercado, Spiritual Director, Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living.
Please be seated. It is a great honor to welcome all of you to the installation ceremony of our dynamic and beloved Reverend Pattie Mercado. And we could not be happier. I'm talking about our congregation and all our guests, I'm sure. My name is Betty Battenberg, and I'm a practitioner who feels so blessed and privileged to attend this sacred ceremony with all of you here today. The Divine Spirit is present here right now. We are all so blessed. The invocation will be done by Reverend Lori Adams. Lori.
Please join me if you wish, as we breathe in the grace of God right here, right now. I shall call in that which is sacred, that which is God, which I call love, peace, joy, and harmony. I know that Spirit is present right here, right now, in this room. Each and every one of us is filled with the joy of this day. I know that each and every one of us is blessed to be here as we partake in the celebration of installation of our very own Reverend Pattie McCardo. To this I say, I give thanks to God for this beautiful day, for this beautiful gathering. And it is with words of love that I release my word into the law, for it to act lovingly upon it as it always does. And so I let it be, and so it is.
Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make, the reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. All the places you will go, and the people you will know. Don't worry when or where or how, you don't need to know that now. You're on the right track, no need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings, you will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out, just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest dances come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Yes, you will. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing thing, amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things.
Rick, thank you so much. That was just wonderful. Thanks. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Fred Mercado. I'm the lucky person to be Reverend Pattie's husband. So, I wish to speak on why we are here. So, we're here for many different reasons. There is family here, traveling as far as Tennessee to be here. Certainly to support, to love, and to acknowledge the growth that Pattie has had through her years, and to celebrate with her. There also are friends here that have joined us. So many of you from the Capistrano Valley Church, thank you for being here. And then also best friends who are here. Then there are certainly the congregants of this church who are here to celebrate this marriage, if you would, between this congregation and Pattie's commitment. And then also there are ministers that are here. And these ministers are very honored guest that we're so proud to be hosting today. These amazing beings have come for reasons that they recognize within Pattie. And that is they're demonstrating their solidarity with their colleague. As with Pattie, all ministers have stepped into a life of serving God. And in this time and place, and it's an acknowledgement of that service to the beloved in this form of leading a congregation. So our ministers are acknowledging this declaration of commitment to God, to the congregation, and specifically to the principles of science of mind that have brought us all together, this teaching. There's also another bigger reason, if you would, for our being here, and it's an idea that was born out of human beings exploring their individual relationship with God. And that took place 56 years ago with an individual, Rita Hawkins, who started a group together, a study group, and that was the first group of individuals that came together that created this church, this community 56 years ago. So it's an idea that was born out of humans. It was a place where they can discover and deepen their relationship with God. And that's what we do each and every Sunday. We come here to discover our relationship with the beloved. So this idea of God was a dance. It came out of individuals. It came out of an idea of God, but it was a dance wherein those individuals had a calling, and the calling was to demonstrate their commitment to the divine. So this church has had many cycles over its 56 years. It has been hugely successful, and it has been struggling. There have been times where this church was without a minister, without someone at the helm. But this idea of this church has continued on. And we are fortunate that it has it has continued on yet to today. So, what I want to say is I want to say thank you for holding that commitment so that this community continues to prosper. So today we're honoring a marriage of sorts, between this form of expression called the Huntington Beach Centers for Spiritual Living and this individual, Reverend Pattie, who has said, God, I am your servant. I will follow your direction, and God has brought her to this place. So it's a marriage between Pattie as a servant and God as an idea expressed as this community. Later, we will formally declare we will ask you to formally support Reverend Pattie in this commitment. You will speak your support for this beloved church family from different places. You'll speak it from family. You'll speak it as best friend. You'll speak it as community. You'll speak it as supportive ministers. And also, it will be spoken from our esteemed guest, Dr. Kathy Hearn, who is representing our global community here today. So I want to say thank you for bringing your unique expression, your unique gratitude, and your unique support for Reverend Pattie today. So I think we'll move into the next phase, and with that, what I'd like to do is to have you open your handout, and there's a declaration of principle within that handout. So if you would, let's read our declaration of principles together. And so let's begin. We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe in the incarnation of Spirit in humankind, and that all people are incarnations of the one Spirit. We believe in the eternity, the immortality, and the continuity of individual soul, forever and ever expanding. We believe that the kingdom of heaven is within us, and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. We believe the ultimate goal of life is to be a complete emancipation from all discord of every nature, and that this goal is sure to be attained by all. We believe in the unity of all life, and that highest God and the innermost God is one God. We believe that God is personal to all, feel this indwelling presence. We believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may become a revealer of truth who believes close contact with the indwelling God. We believe that the universal Spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind, which is the law of God, and that we are surrounded by this creative mind, which receives and directs impression of thought and acts upon it. We believe in the healing of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in the control of conditions through the power of this mind. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We believe in our soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of Jesus is God. So certainly, these are words that were created by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes. So thank you. So I'll now hand over the podium to Reverend Karen Allen.
Pure joy. I have titled this ministerial installation message as Pure Joy because that is Reverend Pattie Mercado. I mean, just look at her. You'd all agree, yes? Pure joy just naturally emanates out of her, radiates out of her like sunbeams. I've had the honor of knowing this amazing woman for about 21 years now, and from the first moment I met her, her radiance and joy shone through, and since then has not diminished one iota. I would suspect she was born that way. I don't know. I mean, can you just imagine that delivering doctor just down there? Here she is about to emerge. He's got to put on his glasses because she comes out so bright. Radiant, pure joy. In any case, I first met Miss Pattie about 21 years ago as the youth director at our spiritual center. All three of my kids went through her youth program, and they loved her. My granddaughter has gone through her program, and she loves her. In fact, all the kids that have gone through Miss Pattie's youth program loved her and still do. She not only shared their youthful energy and enthusiasm with them, she listened to them. She really heard them, and they knew it. Kids always felt safe with Miss Pattie, and I know mine at ages of 32 and 22 and 22 still do. Over the past 25 to 30 years, I can imagine she has touched the lives of hundreds or even thousands of kids and will always be held in the highest esteem by each parent of these children. You know, Mr. Rogers has nothing on her. Well, he is 6 feet under, but I would suspect they'd be neck and neck if he were still here. Pattie and I started working together at our spiritual center around 2003. I was the bookkeeper and she the youth director. Our offices were actually in separate parts of the building, but we got to know each other rather well through our office interactions, our birthday celebrations, our meetings. But it was through our Adventure in Faith program that we got acquainted on a deeper level. And boy, I got to see her in action. You may see this beautiful, radiant, and wise being that she is, but did you know that this girl can get things done? And more importantly, she does it with love, with compassion, with patience, and of course, with pure joy. Her professional background prior to working at the church not only provided her with leadership expertise, it also helped her develop problem-solving skills and office savvy as well. On occasion, when I'd go on vacation or was sick, Pattie was able to hone in on my bookkeeping skills and responsibilities, and she did it really well, which is a very involved process. I often thought that there was nothing that Pattie couldn't do. That is until she told me she couldn't sing. And maybe she can't carry a tune, I don't know, but when she sings with pure joy. So fast forward to 2009. Pattie and I decided to take ministerial training at our center, along with 10 other practitioners taught by Dr. Heather Clark. We were known as Heather's 12 disciples. Mind you, we were 12 very fun and sometimes challenging disciples. And it was during this time that Pattie and I really grew together and became as close or closer than sisters. Since I don't have any biological sisters myself, I really don't have anything to compare it to. But if I did, I expect it would be like this. During this time as students, not only did we spiritually learn and grow together, we laughed together, we cried together, we screamed together, and we Glen Ivied together. Very necessary. And still today, through all of life's trials and tribulations, we still do this all together, but as ministerial colleagues, spiritual sisters, and besties. So earlier this year, as Rev Pattie received the call to move to the next level of her career and accept this position as senior minister of the Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living, of course there was a little bit of sadness, for we would not be working side by side anymore. And I literally mean side by side, we shared office space. But the pride and joy I had for her and her new adventure, allowing her to share her gifts, her talents, her wisdom, and her pure joy with a new community of both grown-ups and kids, washed away any sadness. And I was just thrilled to witness her stepping into the new life of which she was so deserving. Now, all of you wise beings of her new spiritual community here at the Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living, who chose this amazing woman as your senior minister, get to be the proud recipients of this radiant and beautiful prize. You get to share in the pure joy that is Rev Pattie Mercado. You get to learn from her. You get to be inspired by her. You get to support her. And you get to allow her to continue growing into the best and most awesome senior minister she can be. And what a blessing it is for each of us here today, whether it be family, friends, colleagues, old and new spiritual communities, and all who are a part of her life, to stand witness to this wonderful occasion, one in which the ceremonial passing of the baton is celebrated at the Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living, one that has a rich history of great leaders, and now the newest one is stepping into power to continue this great legacy. I am so honored to be the one who gets to honor you, Rev Pattie, or as we call each other, Reverend Bestie. You, as well as your entire family, are one of the greatest gifts to me and my family, as well as all who knows you. You seem to have this effect of making everyone you know feel like a part of your family. You seem to truly embody oneness. And as Mark Nepo said, joy is the hum of oneness. So no wonder you exude pure joy. So congratulations, Rev Pattie, for this well-deserved honor. And congratulations, Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living, for receiving this most amazing gift. Thank you.
What she said. Get ready for the good in everything. Prepare to be voided by the party of love. Expect to be blown away by what you dream. Turn around and consider where you have been. Now look where you're going, it's your decision. Proceed with open arms, open the impossible. There's a good thing coming, one way or another. A new thought being taught, love one another. You can't hate someone else and love yourself. So why don't you open your heart and get ready for the good? Get ready for the good. existential is fine when you're driving blind. Just getting by won't suffice to feed your soul. You deserve what you think you do, and you know it. Well, all the gifts of God are surrounding you. Good, 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 but not too good to believe in. Expect to be blown away by what you're dreaming. 'Cause there's a good thing coming, one way or another. A new thought being taught. Give to each other. You can't hate anyone and love yourself. So why don't you open your heart and get ready for the good now? Get ready for the good. You can be more than you think you are. The heat of the sun, the light of a star. The best that life offers is what you allow. Are you ready, ready now? There's a good day coming, one way or another. A new thought being taught. Love one another. You can't hate anyone and love yourself. So why don't you open your heart and get ready for the good now? Get ready for the good. Get ready for the good thing coming. So why don't you open your mind and get ready for the good? Get ready, 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 ready for the good now. Get ready for the good. Are you ready? Are you ready for the good? 'Cause there's a good thing coming. A good thing coming. A good thing coming.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am absolutely delighted to have been asked to guide this part of our formal ceremony today. I love installation ceremonies. They are a great opportunity for a party, yes? We always love those. But there's something else that goes on along with the partying, and that is we are celebrating something really rather mystical. Fred touched into it when he used the word marriage. But it's that mystical thing that has allowed, across time and space, a minister and a community to find each other. To find each other and to start a brand new relationship. And really, truly, all of you have arrived in the same mystical way to be, well, all of us here today, but all of you who are members of this community, to be part of the love and the learning that want to be enacted right here and now. And so it's a very beautiful kind of thing. But the soul in one has reached out to the soul in another, and you've all arrived. So something meaningful happens in a ceremony like this, and that is that Rev Pattie, the minister, and the leaders of the center, and the friends of the minister, and also the ministerial colleagues, all take vows. We speak words of commitment today, words of caring and commitment. And you know, in Science of Mind, we say that the word that we speak is the law of our life. And so when we give our word, it's our requirement, really, our inner requirement, to keep that word. And so what is taking place today is a really important commitment of our caring and our support to Rev Pattie and to this center. Ernest Holmes spoke our movement into being with these words. He said, "There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now." And he linked up our personal life and the good life of God in a way that had never been done before, in exactly that way. And ever since that time, people have been gathering together in centers and communities and creating churches so that in each other's company they might learn how to live the good life of God and to access this promise that we're here to be happy and free and to live a life in that way. And so once again, it's that idea of the word being spoken. And many ministers' hearts have moved with this teaching, and Reverend Pattie's heart moved with this teaching, and it guided her right here to be your senior minister. And again, everybody else arriving here by divine appointment for just this time. And so here is our ceremony. Ernest Holmes, with his vision, lit the torch of science of mind. And those who have carried it since believe in the same principles that have been declared here today. He knew, as we do, that these principles are impersonal and universal, that they work for all without exception. And so there is good reason today to celebrate the installation of Reverend Pattie Mercado, who will carry on the work and declare these principles, as well as illumine the consciousness, train the minds, and open the hearts of those who come here to learn to apply science of mind to their lives. Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living is the unfolding expression of a divine idea in the mind of God, and it is being revealed and expressed by all of you here today and every day. And so ministers, Board of Trustees, licensed practitioners, center members, friends, we come together this evening to install Reverend Pattie Mercado into the spiritual leadership of this center. A minister of religious science acts in a threefold capacity in fulfilling her office. First, she serves as minister to the congregation and counselor to all who seek her help and guidance. She is the spiritual leader of this community and as such has sole charge of carrying out all ecclesiastical functions and activities of the center, maintaining spiritual oversight of all events and gatherings conducted within this facility, providing direction to all who support this center's youth, hiring and supervision of all center personnel, and partnership with the licensed practitioners and the ministry of prayer. And that's not all. The privilege of facilitating the spiritual awakening of all who come to Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living, seeking a better life through spiritual awakening. Second, she serves as the official and licensed teacher of science of mind under the authority of the charter granted to this center by the Leadership Council of Centers for Spiritual Living, Golden, Colorado. And third, as a licensed minister of religious science, Reverend Pattie was first licensed as a religious science practitioner, and therefore she serves always as a practitioner in support of all who call upon her and call this center their spiritual home. And so it is a great joy to present to the Board of Trustees and to all of you Reverend Pattie Mercado for her installation as the official senior minister of Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living. And Reverend Pattie, please come up and join me. And let's acknowledge her. Nice. I think they love you. And so, Reverend Pattie, earlier you heard the declaration of principles. Do you accept these principles and promise to adhere to them and to make them the foundation of your teaching, your spiritual practice, and your life?
I do.
Good thing, huh? Do you so consecrate yourself to this ministry by aligning everything you think, say, and do in accordance with your highest spiritual values?
I do.
Do you dedicate yourself to this path by being constantly aware of the divine presence within all people? And will you see each person you serve as already perfect in spirit, mind, and body?
I do. I will.
Do you promise to minister faithfully to these who are now committed to your charge by joyously providing them with your patience, your wisdom, and your loving kindness?
Yes.
Thank you. And may the infinite Spirit who empowers you to do all these things grace you with the love, the power, the courage, and the wisdom and the guidance to faithfully perform the same and to live the principles that you love and teach. And let us acknowledge her one more time. Or not one more time. Nope. And so I'd like to ask all of the trustees, the members of the Board of Trustees, to please stand in place. Wonderful. And so to the Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living, these are the individuals who have been duly elected to serve as your board of trustees. Not only do these board members oversee the business affairs of your center, but also their individual and collective awareness establishes the consciousness of abundance and of divine right, order, and action that influences the entire community and all of its members. Recognizing the authority that you have entrusted to them, we now charge them with this responsibility. And please answer, I do or I will, as appropriate. Are you ready? Do you each promise to shine the light of truth that you are by thinking, speaking, and acting in accordance with science of mind principles, knowing only the best for every member of this entire community? Do you each promise to be guided by the light of truth, seeking at all times to be aware of what is right rather than who is right? Do you want to hear that one again? It's pretty interesting. Do you each promise to be guided by the light of truth, seeking at all times to be aware of what is right rather than who is right? Yeah, all right, thank you. And do you accept Reverend Pattie Mercado as your senior minister and as a spiritual leader and teacher? Yes. And will you support her vision, her ecclesiastical leadership, and her ideas to foster, nurture, and grow this community? Yes. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Let's acknowledge the board members of the church. And now I'd like to ask the prayer practitioners to stand, please. Wonderful. These are the individuals who are the licensed professional prayer practitioners of this center. They not only have completed numerous classes, they have also been deemed to have the consciousness necessary to be effective in the prayers they offer congregants, this center, and the world as a whole. Beloved prayer practitioners, Reverend Pattie knows and understands that the role of the licensed prayer practitioner is to be part of the ecclesiastical team, establishing and maintaining a continual consciousness of the spiritual vision of this center. She recognizes how essential you are to the well-being of this community. You carry out most of your work in the great and powerful silence. The fruits of this work manifest as demonstrations in your lives and in the lives of your clients and this beautiful community. And so, do you each consecrate yourself to this spiritual vision and activity? Yes. Will you remain committed to your own spiritual growth, to the well-being of those who reach out to you for spiritual mind treatment, and to the prosperity and success of this spiritual community, so long as you serve as a practitioner? Yes. And do you accept and support Reverend Pattie as your senior minister and as a spiritual leader and teacher? Yes. And will you support Reverend Pattie and the community with your consciousness, your listening ear, your prayers, and your teaching? Yes. And will you support her vision, her ecclesiastical leadership, and her ideas to foster, nurture, and grow this spiritual community? Yes. And thank you very much. Please be seated. Let's acknowledge the practitioners. Beautiful. And so now I'd like to invite all the members of the congregation to stand up, all the members of Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living. Very nice. Good. All right. All the way to the back. So you are the voice of this center. You are the ambassadors of religious science and of this community, reaching out far beyond these walls. You are the reason this center exists. You are the reason this center exists. And through your support, this center prospers. Do you promise, to the best of your ability, to live your lives in alignment with science of mind principles as taught and practiced at this center? Yes. Do you accept and support Reverend Pattie as your senior minister and as a spiritual leader and teacher? Yes. And will you support her vision, her ecclesiastical leadership, and her ideas to foster, nurture, and grow the spiritual community? Yes. Thank you so very much. Please be seated, and let's acknowledge the members. Do you want You want an acknowledgement of friends, too, after the ministers? Okay, all right. And now I'd like to ask all of the visiting ministers who are present to please stand up, all of our colleagues. As Reverend Pattie's colleagues, do you promise to give your friendship, your love, and your affirmative prayers to this minister? Yes. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Let's acknowledge the ministers. And now I'd like to invite the family members and special friends, the besties, anybody else who hasn't stood up, please stand up. And do you each promise to support this beloved minister, your dear friend, in all that she does here as a minister of this community, to support her vision, her time, her energy, her gifts to this community, and also to appreciate the time that she spends with you? Yes. Yeah. Wonderful. Anything else you want to get them to agree to?
You're okay for now, but just keep it in mind.
All right. Thank you very much. You may be seated. And so, Reverend Pattie, by the authority in me vested by Centers for Spiritual Living, Golden, Colorado, and acting on behalf of the membership and leadership of this spiritual community, I do now formally install you as the senior minister of Huntington Beach Center for Spiritual Living, with all the rights, privileges, and obligations appertaining to your office. Congratulations. Let's acknowledge her again. Congratulations. And now we invite Reverend Pattie for her remarks. And here you go.
Can feel it. Have my grandma's hanky handy, just in case I need it, but I don't think I will. They say it's the company we keep. I think I might have said that to my kids a few times over the years. It's the company you keep. And, you know, it really is. It's the company we keep that allows us to know ourselves, to give of ourselves, to show up, to recognize ourselves in each other, and to give a little more, to give a little more, and give a little more. I'm continuously awed that there's more to give. I really thought I had given it all. I really thought I had. Young children, I gave it all. In my career before kids, I gave it all. As a wife, I've given it all. As a student, I gave it all. As a youth director, oh baby, I gave it all. Oh man. And yet, I find myself here. I find myself here on Sunday mornings during the week, and I think, oh, there's more. There's more inside. There's more to give. And what's beautiful about that, what is so sacred about it, is that there's a space to give it. Yeah. And that's because of who shows up. That's because of who comes together. That's because of how and why we gather, to know that divinity of God within ourselves so that we may share it with each other. So we come together and we know and we recognize that infinite and indwelling presence. And we come to find that it's emerging, expressing in us and through us and as us. And we come to find that it's limitless, that there's more. How good can it be? Oh my goodness, it's been great, hasn't it? And yet, there's more. There's more. And so I just really need to thank a few people. It's kind of like the Academy Awards. I want to thank God. I want to thank my parents. I want to thank my kids. She knows it. I got Grandma's hanky right here. I thank all the people that believed in me. I had a teacher that saw a minister in me, Dr. Jackie, long before I did. She said, "There's a minister in you." She kind of whispered it in my ear. She was passing me by. It was after an event. She just leaned down and she whispered in my ear, "There's a minister in you." And I said, nothing. I was speechless. I was speechless because I didn't know that at the time. But she did. And then I had other teachers and friends and ministers who showed me, who mirrored me, who said, "Yes, you can." And so, Dr. Heather, thank you. Thank you. You opened doors for me that I didn't even know existed. And you simply said, "Please come. I'll show you the way." And you did, so beautifully, so graciously, so lovingly. I could stop and talk about each person here and how you have been that for me. That reflection, that strength, that courage, that open heart. But I won't, because that would take hours. I simply say thank you. Thank you for trusting your kids with me. Thank you for growing up with me. I'm still growing up. There's a brand new baby in our family. I'm going to grow up and be just like him. And thank you for loving me and allowing me to step into this fully and completely, and scared out of my mind sometimes, but so excited about it I can't stop. So we're building something, we're creating something, and whether you come here on Sunday mornings or not, you're part of it. You realize that, yes? And the people that are here on Sunday mornings or come during the week or are any way affiliated with this community, we're doing something magnificent. And the reason I know that, and the reason I trust that, and the reason I continuously remind myself of it is because I know that it is the unfolding, it is the expression of the divinity of God. It is that thing coming alive through our life as we allow ourselves to be infused with that spirit. And we allow it to be shared and expressed. It touches the world. But it starts right here and starts right here. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be part of this community. I'm grateful to be your spiritual director. I'm grateful to have said yes. I'm really grateful I was brave enough to say yes. That very little moment that became so big. So, I'm not going to keep talking. I'm just going to say thanks, and I'm really excited, and I love you. Thank you.
And after this benediction, please stay seated until the ministers have done their recessionals, and then join us for goodies, a party. So with this, I go within, and I know that this magnificent day, this beautiful, important day in the Center of Spiritual Living, Huntington Beach, has been blessed by everyone that has come here, by everyone that has come through the door before us today, and who's ever coming in the future. Whoever has been touched by this center, we are blessed by everyone, and we are blessed to have Reverend Pattie, and I'm blessed for being part of this beautiful community. I give great thanks to God, to the Spirit, to this life, and so it is. Amen.